Hi, and welcome to the Balanced Body podcast series. I'm Amy Alpers from the Pilates Center in Boulder, Colorado. We're working on the float chair in this podcast, and we're working on the concept of the spring and how the spring can really enable the breath. So as you push down on the spring and it expands, so do you. And then as the spring releases, that's to help you find your exhale, which is our most important part. We talked a lot about how the exhale is the key. The more you can cleanse your lungs, the more the next time you inhale, the better the inhale will be. So that's our goal always. We get our capacious inhale via doing an amazing exhale. So we're going to do an exercise called the tricep press here on the floor. Corey's going to take her hands back. Good, and then release the spring. Right, and this exercise is going to get right into tight stuff that inhibits your inhale quite a bit. So we're going to inhale, press the spring down, fill the lungs, so you use the spring to stretch and expand and lift, and then you find your deep exhale. You try to release that spring, but maintain your power here. And again, we inhale and we allow it to stretch. We'll go a little faster, and then that deep exhale. And as you can see with Corey and a lot of people, they struggle with tightness down in here and in the hips and hamstrings, and that can impede this a little bit. So we're going to try a little modification here. Go ahead and release your spring, and we're going to sit her up just a little bit higher, a couple pads here. Go ahead and sit back on that. And we'll see if that can free her breath a little bit more, which is usually my goal, almost always my goal, trying to figure out what's in the way of the breath and what we might be able to do about it. So if the spine is a little more upright, we talked about that in the very beginning as well, that if you're in a little bit of a tuck or strain in the low back pelvis, that's going to get in the way of your ability to do your exhale. Okay, so we're going to release the spring as much as you can, and then we start with an inhale, always on the inhale as the spring expands, and a deep exhale trying to lift. Good. And we inhale and we inject and we open and stretch all of this, floating it up like a big balloon, deep squeeze, and last time, inhale, a little bigger, stretch it, deep exhale, squeeze. Very nice, good. And we're going to then take that into another exercise, Swan on the floor, that utilizes a similar feeling of the expansion through a little bit of this extension and upper body power that we need also for our breath. Okay, so you're going to inhale as you press that spring down, fill the lungs and let it lift. You press your spring, press it, wrists up. You're suspended, you find your deep exhale, catch that, and then lift the spring and allow your exhale to be your support and allow your spring to help you exhale. So you inhale, the spring helps to lift you. You fill the lungs, pull your chest through just a little bit. And exhale, pull the abdominals way up, release it out. And sometimes this moment right here is a little bit extreme for people. So we might consider putting a pillow or some kind of lift right under the head so that we can have a little more shoulder integration at the beginning, so that when you start your press and your inhale, you can find a little more connection right in here, wrists up, and then a deep exhale. And you find that lift right here that supports. I'm going to do one last one. Inhale, pick this up, lift this, feel this, and exhale, deep squeeze right here. Relax, nice. And then you can release the spring and just sit back in a child's pose and relax your back. Good, so we're starting to look a little bit more at how extension and breath work together and how that can be a little trickier a lot of times than the flexion work. We're going to look at that a little bit more as well on the mat. And we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us.